Mm-hmm. Very good. All right, gentlemen, that's it for tonight. I have a wonderful special guest. We're going to talk about vacations, and we're going to talk about going places and doing things, and we're going to talk about getting in the vacay mode. And I'm going to send you to govacaymodetravels.com to get your upcoming travels planned and taken care of by these two wonderful travel people. I'm talking about Alden and Sarah Holowinski. Welcome to the show tonight, folks.
Hey, Ray. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having us, Ray.
Yes, well, listen, I know that you were a little under the weather there, Sarah, and we wanted to get you back on, and Alden did a great job, and we had a cool talk about getting married in Mexico, down Mexico way.
I love it.
So I don't know if you want to continue that discussion for just a minute or two to get kicked off here, but I know that, and I can refresh everybody that might not have heard that, and that is I was married in Mexico, in San Felipe. San Felipe is on the Sea of Cortez. It is kind of a catty corner southwest from Rocky Point, long distance, probably a 7 or so hour drive from Phoenix to get to San Felipe. You go down to Calexico on your way to San Diego, and then you head south. And there's beautiful, beautiful golf course there. There's all kinds of Americans living there in every kind of a house you can think of. There's beautiful, beautiful big homes that are there, and a beautiful little village that years ago was a fishing village. But San Felipe has grown, and we just absolutely love being in Mexico. We loved staying there for several weeks. It was easy to go through the process with the wonderful lawyer who was the justice of the peace. She did just a fantastic job. Our friends came down and witnessed. We were married in a gazebo just near the beach, and it was just absolutely beautiful. And we just had a great time. And getting married in Mexico is quite the experience. So I'll tee off the segment, and Sarah, that's my experience, but we can talk a little bit more about this. Alden did a great job, but I did have some people write to me and say, hey, we love to go to Mexico on vacation. A couple people brought up, a little bit of the concerns about what we see at the border. Cartels was one of them. But you're there, and you all live there. You're from the Phoenix area, but you moved down into Mexico, and you're doing your work down there, and you wanted to travel the world, and this is your dream. And you're helping people as certified travel gurus to be able to not only save money and time, and I've sent people to Go Vacay Mode Travels, that's plural, govacaymodetravels.com. But Sarah, let me hand it over to you for a moment.
Yeah, thanks, Ray. No, so yes, we are currently down in Mexico. We travel all the time. We love helping plan destination weddings, honeymoons, really helping couples connect through love of travel. That's what brought us together, and that's what, we do a lot of. We spend all of our special occasions traveling instead of doing gifts, and we really just love helping other couples travel as part of their relationship and their, romance building.
I'll just extend on that a little bit with people's concerns of traveling to Mexico. It's definitely understandable. Mexico is too magical of a place to miss out on. And although there are some harsh realities of traveling anywhere, I hope that doesn't hold people back from visiting our neighbors to the south. There is just a beautiful culture that they have here. Some of the most nicest people that you'll come across. The food, the vibrant culture, the dancing. It's a beautiful place.
And we always say when traveling abroad or really anywhere, practice common sense. Don't be out super late. Don't be getting yourself into things that you shouldn't be getting into. If you practice good general common sense, you're really not, in our opinion, not going to experience problems.
Yeah, and especially if you go to beautiful resorts and you're staying with loads of other people and you're within call it the protective boundaries of these resorts and these beautiful these towns, everybody should be just fine. I mean, we've never had a scary moment in Mexico, and my wife have been there many, many times, and we've been all over. Now, we haven't been probably as many places as you all have, but we have been all over Mexico from border to border, call it. And, we love Cancun. We love Playa del Carmen. We love, the Riviera Maya. We love Rocky Point, beautiful golf courses down there. And then, of course, we love Rosarita Beach. We love going down to Baja Mar, Ensenada. And as I said, we were married on the Sea of Cortez. And there's so many more places we want to go, so many more. And the golf in Mexico is outstandingly beautiful, lots of which, of what courses are out on the oceans. And I just can't wait to get back. We love it. And if you're planning a romantic getaway or if you're planning to get married there, Alden, you are very eloquent about telling folks if you want to get married in Mexico, there's a couple, 3 or 4 things you need to be mindful of. Can you just go over that again for the folks tonight?
Yeah, it's just you do need to have a birth certificate if you've been previously married, documentation that you are divorced, if you've had any name change. Same-sex marriage can bring up a few hoops. But one thing I wish I would have mentioned last time is a lot of these resorts have made it very easy, and they have, officiants or lawyers on site, and they will get all that paperwork finalized, stamped, and delivered.
Really?
So those requirements are they become streamlined, make it a lot easier to have that happen, especially when you're working with the wedding departments down there. You got a good one. They make it very easy for you.
I did not know that.
And that's part of the process that we coordinate with the on-site resort. So we work with them to make sure that the couples have everything that they need to have that legally binding ceremony, and we make sure they're taken care of the whole way.
The last step you can do or choose not to do is invite us. We're happy to join along and tag along for that wedding. Otherwise, we will help from afar, too.
And just so the folks are refreshed by exactly what you do, Sarah, kick it off and tell us, what does Vacay Mode Travels do? What do you do? How do you two handle a client that will go to the website, contact you, and say, hey, I want to go to, play golf in Portugal, or I want to go to Spain, or hey, I want to go down to Mexico. My fiance and I would like to have a beach wedding. How do you start the relationship?
Yeah, so this is really a 3-step process for us. The first step is consultation. So we get to know the clients, exactly what they're looking for. And then step number 2 is we do a personalized proposal to them using all of the information that we learned in that consultation to give them exactly the experience that they're looking for without all the hassle of trying to put it together. And the last step there is Vacay Mode. That's where we get them all their travel documents, make sure that they're prepared, they know their itinerary in and out, where to go for what, and we really just help them get prepped and ready for that in a seamless way.
And if they are in a foreign country and they need you, you're available to help them if they have a snag, or if the train breaks down, or I don't know, I'm making this up, but we all know the more that you travel, the more there's a chance that an airplane can be delayed or flights can be canceled, and you're stuck here somewhere in Machu Picchu, and you don't want to stay in a tent, so they can contact you and you're going to help them. I made all that up.
Absolutely. That's the beauty of working with a certified travel professional, is you have an advocate on your side. If anything comes up, we're going to help them navigate through it. If it's something on site, we're going to tell them exactly who to talk to. We're going to be stepping in and assisting. So our goal is for everybody to have as much fun as possible with as little stress as possible. All
right, let's go to another topic. We've talked about Mexico and getting married there. What's one of the other very popular scenarios that people like to travel these days?
Yeah, I'll say, this year we're seeing a lot of interest in Mediterranean cruises, and we are actually going to be we're going to be escorting a group of 16 people on one of these Mediterranean cruises next month. That's one of the things we do a couple of times a year, where we open up a couple of group trips and people can actually come and travel with us. And so we have a big group that we're getting ready to kick off next month.
Now, Mediterranean cruises means you would fly to some Mediterranean port of call, or some major city in some country, and you would board the ship, and then you cruise the Mediterranean, and it can be a loop, or you go one way and end up in another country and then fly home from there. I'm presuming it works either way.
It does work either way. Sticking with Mediterranean, you'd fly into Rome. A lot of our clients like to do a 2 or 3 day pre-cruise stay, so they kind of get over that jet lag. They get to roam the town. They're going to be checking out the Colosseum, food spots, explore, for a couple of days before boarding that ship. If it's a group, everyone gets to meet up at once. We can coordinate everyone at the same hotel, transfers. And then, then from there, it's 7 ports, 14 days. There are shorter ones a week, as well. And then they will end. A lot of times they'll either start or end in Rome. This one's going to be ending in Barcelona. A few people are going to opt for post-cruise stay, spend a couple nights in Barcelona, and actually going to be taking the train from Barcelona up to Paris. It's about a 6-hour train ride, and then flying from Paris back to Phoenix, which, side note, starting in May, Air France will start having direct flights to and from Paris.
From Phoenix?
From Phoenix, yep.
I did not know that. Isn't that wonderful?
That is, yeah. So
let's
a long
talk
flight to begin with.
So you plan the entire. You've got all 16 people buttoned up. You take care of all documents. You take care of all side trips, pre and post stays that they might want to have. Everything on the ship is handled and taken care of, and it's a one-stop shop. I mean, there's one fee, and it's done. It's all taken care of.
It is. And people really like that, especially if they have a group of people, because they approach us and they say, hey, I'm going to have, Dick, Tom, and Harry reaching out to you. They're going to want all this. Can I just have them reach out to you with any questions? And that way we can take that stress off groups, manage it for everyone, payments, transfers, all that goes through us. All everyone has to do is just pack up and meet at the same spot.
And one of the really cool things about this is, even though it is a group trip, it still gives everybody an opportunity to personalize it to their liking. So even though we're all doing the same itinerary for the cruise, some of us are all doing different excursions. So everybody gets to see what they want. Everybody gets what they want out of the trip. And they, bonus, get to travel with us.
Well, yeah, and if you get to travel with Alden and Sarah, you're going to be really filled in. I mean, you're going to know everything there is to know about where you are and what you're doing. Now, when you're on the cruise ship, I've heard that different cruise ships are outfitted differently as far as the packages. In this particular Mediterranean cruise, is everything included? Are there options? Because I've had people ask me before, hey, we've never been on a cruise, and we hear there's all these different options, and it's very confusing. Well, folks, if that's what you're seeing, and I'm sure that it is, because there are so many options in cruise lines and what have you, if you want to go on a cruise and start off with a little 3 or 4 day cruise, or you want to go on a big, beautiful, wonderful, life-changing cruise like Sarah and Alden are talking about, you've got to go to GoVacayModeTravels.com, because you two can help them with all the various ways that you do a cruise. Alden?
Yes, absolutely. There are a ton of options. But, yeah, if you're looking for all-inclusive, if you're looking for more top-shelf drinks, all-inclusive drinks, excursions, certain room types, if you're okay with an interior, But we always recommend the balcony. Can you imagine coming into Santorini with a cup of coffee? We always try to suggest at least having a patio option. You can do a mini suite all the way up to a presidential suite if you really want to make it memorable. So, no, we definitely go through all the options and what's included.
And as part of our proposal, we will give clients recommendations based on what they've told us is important to them. We'll let them know, this is something you want to consider. This is something you could probably pass on. We're going to be very honest with them because we want them to maximize their budget and get the most out of their trip.
Absolutely, you do. All right, you've been listening to Sarah and Alden Holowinski. I'm going to give you 30 seconds final word. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this again soon. I was going to give you the final word, but I think your final word was probably great because I'm running out of time. What a great segment. I learned a lot. Go vacaymodetravels.com and make sure you get there and contact Sarah and Alden. You two have a great time in Mexico. Thank you so much for being on tonight. They're going to return. Don't worry. And we have another very special travel mode that I want them to talk about. And I'm going to be surprising them when I tell them. Everybody stay tuned. Have a wonderful week. Good weather this week. And you're going to have a great Easter.